Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Well, you see the screen. Yahoo saying y'all ain't got no money. Period. I might well just go and end the video right there. But no, we're gonna read this article from Yahoo, from finance.yahoo.com, and by way of MoneyWise, and it reads: millions of Americans are retiring with no savings. Report reveals about 90% of lower income U.S. workers over 50 have nothing stashed away for retirement. Here's how to catch up. Now, quick, I'm going to explain again. If y'all wonder why y'all can't see part of the title again, I try to cut out all these ads that be on these on the screen, just so we can, have not so much distractions. You see, Bernie Sanders, somebody need to, put a little water, put a little edge control on the top of his head so he can tie his hair down. It says, it's no surprise that so many Americans are extending their time in the workforce and delaying retirement, especially when so many have no savings shored up for their golden years at all. Well, you know why a lot of us, ADOS and FBA Americans, don't have money? Because a lot of us that make money, we do what do we do? What do you call it? Well, let's just say when we have family that's in need, we help them out. The problem is there's a lot of family that has a lot of need, and we help them out a lot to where we tap into our little savings that we have, thinking that they're gonna borrow this money one good time and that's it, get them on their feet and they'll be well on their way, and then we can just make this money again. The problem is it normally doesn't work that way. It usually don't work that way. Usually they'll ask for assistance today, and then maybe next month they'll ask for it again. A few months later they're back out with their hands out again. A few months later, a few weeks later, they got their hat in hand again. And it's a continuous cycle to where you can't start back building up that savings that you once had. So you got to come up with another plan. And then it's like, well, if I just say, hey, I ain't got it, I'm going to feel bad because they ain't got it. But damn, did they use the money in the past to help themselves? So they're not going to use it. So all they're going to do is just bring you down. Then next thing you know, you have no money. I remember a story where a young lady was taking care of some family members. She had savings accounts, and she going to do the right thing and help out a few of the younger family members. And her savings account dwindled to nothing. And she had to end up telling them, hey, can't help you no more. I ain't got no money. It's simple as, and no one helped reimburse that money. No one offered a hand, not even a hand clap of praise. They just said, okay, and went on about their merry way. Like, I guess I better go on somewhere else. But that's usually the Black American story. So, like I said, a lot of us just ain't got that kind of money. Back to the article. In fact, only 1 in 10 low-income workers between the ages of 51 and 64 have a retirement account balance in 2019, compared to 1 in 5 in 2007. So a lot has changed in the last 12 years. Let's see. Well, I said 2019. In those 12 years, who was president? Barack Obama twice, and Donald Trump once, according to the July report from the Government Accountability Office, the GAO. All right, it said, after a lifetime of work, all Americans should be able to retire with dignity, said Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse in a press release from the U.S. Committee on the Budget. But today, millions of Americans are retiring with no savings. Well, you see this inflation. COVID hit us pretty hard. The inflation now, where food and gas prices done went up, 30% or so, this, that, and the third. I mean, people have to dip into their funds. School prices are a little more expensive than what they used to. So the parents and grandparents who were going to pay for the kids' education now got to shell out a little more money, take out these loans on these houses, got to dip in savings, and it's hurting. It says, while just a small fraction of low-income Americans who earn a median yearly salary of $19,000, God dang, reported having some retirement savings fall back on in 2019, a whopping 90% of high-income households had a retirement account balance between 2007 and 2019. I'm amazed people with 19. You know what? People with $19,000 got a retirement account. That's pretty good. But you know what? It makes sense, you know, but it actually makes sense. It really shouldn't be surprising, because think about this. I mean, like I say, poor people, rich people, you know, all people gonna have their habits. You got people who, you know, don't have a lot of money but have good habits, just haven't got to the point to where they can start making great money for whatever reason. But hell, if you got $19,000 and you start a little savings account, you know, when you retire, if you're living off $19,000 now, and you're comfortable where you're at, I mean, hell, you just can live off that for the rest of your life, right? You don't have to go on like cruises and vacations every month, every year, see the world. You cool where you at, so I got no problem with that. But I do have a problem with our people being on the poverty line, because, you know, it makes it, you know, hard to survive, and you don't have a lot of options of getting out of areas that are like high crime, low income. You know what I'm saying? So that could create a problem. Let's say the median account balance for a high income older households who earn about $282,000 per year actually surged from $333,000 to $605,000 over that time, 9 times more than the middle income households, which reported a median balance of $64,300. The GAO points to factors such as longer job tenures, having a college degree, and larger employer contributions. So yeah, y'all gotta understand that college degree plays a big factor. And I know college is expensive. This is why you have to get your kids prepared from the time that they're born to try to go to college to get a degree in this country. I know we all talk about owning your own business, which is great. If you can, do it. If you can hire people, do it. But it's tough. And in the meanwhile, everybody's not a business owner. People are cool with having a career, which is fine. You know, hell, I got a career. I ain't tripping on that. I also, you know, want to start businesses, or trying to start a business, you know, and from the ground up. So, you know, I mean, you had the best of both worlds. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But this is why I say you start with the babies, educating them, you know, get them reading, writing before they even get into schools. Continue to practice with them and work with them during the summer. Hell, during school, you working with them at the kitchen table. Make sure they're getting their work done. If they're having problems, find them a tutor. Hell, let them use that electronic device that they can't put down. Use that to go on YouTube and find videos on how to do, or even Instagram, to show you how to work these math problems, or try to figure out how to comprehend stories that they read. All the help you need is out there. Get your butt up and take them to the library for story time, for reading time. Get books, have them read them. Summer reading programs, math programs, STEM programs, all that stuff is out there. A lot of stuff is free or minimum charge, especially if you're a low income. Just get off your ass and get out there and get these kids ready. So when they get older, they have the ability to get scholarships academically, not just athletically. So they can go and get these degrees and get careers to where they can make great money, so they can get themselves up out the hood. And once you get up in your older age and you can't, you know, work like you used to, you can go and live with them. And not that you're in your 70s still out here being a CNA or LVN or a nurse working in these nursing homes, because you're still taking care of your grown ass kids or grown grandkids. You got to cut that mess out. But anyway, only about 23% of low income workers have access to a workplace retirement account in the first place. And some may opt out of making contributions if they've got a limited income or are planning to rely on Social Security benefits. But we know, let me go ahead and read the next one. As it stands, workers relying on Social Security to cover their expenses and retirement need to prepare for the trust fund to run low within the next decade. They've been talking about this since I've been coming up. So they know it's coming. So again, yeah, your grandma, grandparents, my grandparents used to be able to live off their Social Security. You know, that's why they created the 401k plan in the first place. Because it was used to help supplement the retirement. No. You're gonna use Social Security, 401k, and your job's pension. Those three things will make it to where you can live on retirement. So, but they try to push 401k that like it was gonna be your sole retirement. Then in the end, I believe that's what it's gonna be, your sole retirement, because Social Security is about to be cut out. A lot of these jobs, pensions are being cut out, or lowered, if not being eliminated. So unfortunately, your 401k. So that's why you better go ahead. But you know what? We're gonna keep reading. It's gonna tell you things that I've said, but sometimes I think it sounds different if somebody else tell y'all. If y'all actually see it on a reputable website, because I can sit here and tell you to read like The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy A. Brown, how the tax system impoverishes Black Americans and how we can fix it. I could tell you to go read that, but with her being a Black woman, you probably won't read it. But when them folk tell you something, and she's a tax attorney, but anyway, but when you hear from other people, for some reason you believe that ice is colder. There's also a pretty significant disparity when it comes to race as well. In 2019, white households reported a median balance of $164,000, double the $80,300 reported by other races. The statement here is misleading, because you just notice how they say about other races, and they say other races have $80,000 in savings. Do my ADOS people and FBA people got $80,000 in savings? I doubt you do. But when you go to the RAND.org on this article from May 9th, 2023, it says the median Black household in America has around $24,000 in savings, investments, home equity, and other elements of wealth. So they put in it said $24,000, but they said savings, investments, home equity, and other elements of wealth. Home equity. So if you own a house and you got equity, you only got $24,000 in equity. If that's all you have, that's not a whole lot, especially with these housing prices where they are now. Savings, investments, that's why we say get you a Roth IRA, get you some mutual funds, put into it over time. It'll grow. Your wealth will grow, exponentially, in the later years. But anyway, so the median white household around $189,000, a disparity that has worsened in recent decades. So basically, like I say, you see this $80,000, that ain't us. I don't know who has that. So we got 20, and 80 is the median, which is the middle, right? That's the middle, but that's not the mean, because the mean is the average. Okay, so don't get confused, because the middle means that 80,000 is in the middle, and then you got a bunch of people to the right, and then a bunch of people to the left. So again, but like I said, that's not us. We don't have that kind of wealth at all. The GOA says the tax system benefits the wealthy. The GAO analyst says the tax code provided $193 billion in tax breaks to subsidize retirement in 2023. However, a previous study from the Congressional Budget Office revealed that it's the top 20% of households by income that benefit from most of these tax breaks, while only roughly 5% of lower income Americans benefit from them. In America today, 55% of seniors are trying to survive on less than $25,000 a year. My grandmother could survive on that. I remember staying with my grandmother during the summers as a kid in my late elementary, in my junior high years. She didn't work, but she always talk about when she worked at Curtis Mathis and retired and lived off of that. And they talk about why y'all can't do that. Sure, you can't do that now. Ain't a whole lot of factors around, ain't a whole lot of pensions around like that that's gonna let you do that. But she lived in the country, lived on an acre of land, which was, bought by my great grandfather. So that was like paid off. She paid a little taxes on it. It is what it is. Can't do that in the big city. Given that reality, our job is to make sure that the working class in our country are able to retire with the dignity and the respect that they deserve, not to provide more tax breaks for the billionaire class, says Senator Bernie Sanders in the committee press release. It says how to get ahead if you're behind. Here we go. While you're trying to catch up on shoring up funds for your golden years, make sure you're picking the right retirement vehicle. For example, if your employer offers a 401k plan, you can divert some of your pre-tax pay into the account and grow your saving tax-free. Your employer might even match contributions as well. The 401k, like I said, you can't retire off of that. But here's what you can do. And this is why I got into a 401k when I was back in the day when I was working at this warehouse. Because at first I said I'm not going to do it because I'm looking at this money. I'm like, man, you can't retire on 401k. I don't care how much you put in there. But you can stack that money up. So you want to buy a house, you can take that money out without being taxed. If you want to use it for education for yourself or for your kids, you can take that money out without being penalized for taking it out early. You see what I'm saying? Home improvement, stuff like that. That's why I got it that's why I got it back in the day. And it came in handy for me in my time of need. If not, consider looking at into an IRA or a Roth IRA. While a traditional IRA lets you make contributions from your income before taxes are taken out, a Roth IRA means you'll be paying taxes up front on your contributions so that your withdrawals are tax-free. That's why you want to do a Roth IRA. Set yourself up for life in retirement. Setting yourself up for life in retirement, let alone one that offers disposable income, is nerve-wracking. Before you can put funds aside, make sure you've either settled or have a plan for selling all your debts, including your credit cards, student loans. I feel I don't know how I feel about that when people say pay off all your debts before you start a savings account, because it's easier said than done. Because, like I said, the way the economy is now, the Bidenomics, the student loans, you'll be paying on that for the rest of your life, depending on how much you make, right? I know people say, I had student loans and paid it off real quick. Then the question is, how much money you have, how much money were you spending, what kind of help that you have, what kind of bills that you have when you've done that. Don't go out there and tell people that you paid off $50,000 in student loans over 2 years and you getting help from the government, or you living with your mama, or your rent is only $100-something a month or a couple $100 a month, and you're making $40 an hour and you have very low expenses and you're working 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week for 2 years. Don't want to hear that. Tell a story. Talk to the people where, the people where they making $17, $18, $20 an hour, working 40 hours a week, maybe got a little part-time job, only can afford to pay the minimum balance. And after 20 years, their balance is higher than what it was higher than what it was the money they took out. That's what I'm saying. Don't sit there and tell me that you start your business from 1 grain of rice, and now you're like a multi-millionaire and you can show me how to do it. Nobody heard that bullshit. So my thing, like I say, it's hard to pay off all your bills. I say get your savings account, and if you got debt, find a way to save money and pay debt off. Like they say, have a plan and implement that. But don't sit there and listen to people saying paying off, especially if you got like student loans. Now you got like a few $100, few $1,000, a couple $1,000. Okay, pay them off, and then you can put all that money, and it's not the kind of debt that's gonna reoccur. Yeah, pay that off and then go, and start with your savings account. Put that money in your savings because it's like you didn't have it in the first place because you was already paying bills with it anyway. It said if you started building your nest egg but think you might be behind in your goals or you aren't sure the best way to handle investing for retirement, you may want to consider speaking with a financial planner to make sure you're on the right track, which is a great idea. I advise you, I said in one of my last videos, pay a few $100s for a financial advisor or CPA or whatever. Can give you like, $1 million worth of gain that will sustain you through your retirement. That's a great investment. You can't go wrong with that. But anyway, hey, tell me what y'all think of this story. Like I said, Yahoo them say y'all ain't got no money, so I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna take grandmama's house and sell it, or state might well gonna live in it. It's paid off. Just pay the taxes. Get you a decent job. Somehow get in somebody's school. Get into somebody's school, get in somebody's college, and get you a degree so you can make more money. Get your kids, like I say, set them up for the future so they can get in somebody's school without having to come out of pocket with these student loans. Because to make it in this country, I'm sorry, unless you're gonna, like I said, own a business, and it takes a minute for you to start a business. So I mean, if you live in your mama house and grandmama house and you ain't paying no bills, that's the best time to get out there, start your career, and build your clientele before you have to do it on your own. But anyway, enough of that. Tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.